Well, hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of today's Conversations on Leadership, powered by Life University. I'm your host, Dr. Gilles LaMarche, and I'm thrilled to have with me today Dr. Sandy Elbaum. Dr. Elbaum graduated from Life University in 1991. Her and her husband, Adam, went off to Virginia and built a beautiful practice. And they truly have been leaders, leading their community to great health. So it is wonderful to have Dr. Elbaum, who, by the way, also is a member of the Life University Board of Trustees, very involved. A true leader who gives of herself all the time. Dr. Elbaum, thanks so much for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
So I know that two of your children graduated from Life University and joined you and your husband Adam in practice. And so for these 30 years, 35 years now, right? You're going to be celebrating your 35th anniversary since you graduated from Life University. You've been serving your community and you've been leaders in the healthcare world in your community. Can you share with our audience what that was like? What was it like to start? What was the vision that you had to really become leaders in the chiropractic world and leaders for the health of your community?
Well, when we graduated Life, there were more chiropractors in Cobb County than the entire state of Virginia. Interestingly enough, that hasn't changed very much. So we knew that we, both being doctors, that we needed to get into practice right away. And so we came to Virginia with a dream. And I joined the local state association as soon as we got here. And my role in leadership and politics has been constant ever since.
What did that do for your community? What did it do for your life and your practice? So, because when people serve at the level that you've been serving for all these years, it takes a lot, is what people think. But when we choose to do that and we do it from a space of purpose, it's a completely different result, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And, I wouldn't say that being the president of my state association brought patients in my door, but it kept me on purpose. It kept me motivated. It kept me strong in my convictions of how amazing chiropractic is. And when I stopped serving at the state level and I started moving to the school because I felt like then I could have a more global influence, my hands can only touch so many people. But for every student, or for every school, for everything that I put into the profession that brings more hands into the profession, that many more people on the planet get to be adjusted.
What a beautiful way, right? So if all our constituents, if all the people watching this video today, if you put that in your mind, you go, how can I serve at that level? Because it's obvious that one person alone, you can only adjust so many people in a day. But
right.
We can help our youth grow in practice and grow with a vision. With a vision, of course, at Life University, we talk about lasting purpose, to give, do, love, serve from your own abundance with no expectation of return. And it fills your soul, doesn't it, to serve at that level?
And, this profession, to me, it's given me everything I have. It's given me my family. It's given me my spouse, my lovely home, whatever it is that I have in my life, I have because of chiropractic. But more importantly, I'm able to see miracles happen in my practice every day. What more can that give to you?
I know it's a beautiful gift, isn't it? So 35 years in, you and your husband, Dr. Adam, had this vision of continuing to build the practice, and you knew you can do it on your own. So I would say fortunate for you in a certain way, but because you created that in your life, two of your children, Dr. Abby and Dr. Andrew, decided to become chiropractors. And from what I know, they decided to join the practice. That's correct, right?
That is correct. They're still practicing with me.
So right now in your practice, you have how many doctors?
You can't really count Adam because he has officially retired, but we have my two children, Dr. Philip and myself, that are working in the office now, and I desperately need help.
So you're hearing it, friends, like 4 chiropractors in an office in Virginia, and they desperately need help. They desperately want more chiropractors to be working with them. And obviously 35 years in, you're looking at some point to maybe transition, take some of the load off, do a little bit less yourself, have other people do more. And so
absolutely.
And there's opportunities out there. And we know now there are a lot of doctors like yourself. We are not currently replenishing those that are retiring. in the
That's
profession.
crazy.
And here you are with a beautiful practice that is thriving, that has been thriving for more than 3 decades, and you're there willing to mentor young doctors to become phenomenal chiropractors and serve their community. What's that been like? What's that been like to mentor? I would say to mentor your 2 children and then to mentor Dr. Philip and to be able to work with all of them together.
It's a great source of pride. I mean, the first 6 years Adam and I were in practice, we really struggled. We made a lot of mistakes. And, when you're in school, you take classes on business and everything else, but your headspace is about graduating and passing the boards. It's not about how do you fill out a tax form or how do you get a patient to actually walk in your door. So to be able to have that buffer and be able to learn all those things before you go out on your own, I think is really, really wonderful. And, even my kids have said, they don't want to stay with me forever. They want to do their own thing. But Dr. Abby's been out for 6 years, I think. And she's still with me because she knows she can show up at the office. She can give, love, serve, and make a great income and not have to have those problems come home with her.
which is a good thing in one way, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know obviously I had the privilege of knowing both your children when they were here at Life University, and had the privilege of interacting with them once in a while since they graduated. But you and your husband, Dr. Adams, certainly set the bar really, really high for people to want to achieve and be great. Like I was talking to a group of students not that long ago, and I said, like, how many of you want to be great chiropractors? And not every hand went up. I said, so what? The rest of you want to be like average, which is mediocre?
Yeah.
And so you set the bar high to become an exceptional chiropractor. And I appreciate that about you and Dr. Adam and how you always show up ready to serve. I know that you would gladly receive people who want to come and visit your practice in Virginia. Could you maybe give us, what would be the best way for people to get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of you?
Probably my email, which is B as in boy, A as in apple, C as in cat, D as in dog, O as in Oscar, C as in cat, the number 1 at gmail.com. You can also go to my website, which is chesterchiropractic.com. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm writing it down, so make sure that we get that up on chesterchiropractic.com. Perfect.
Yep. And that's backdoc1 at gmail.
I've got that. That's wonderful.
And, I really encourage students to visit lots of offices. You may have come to school with an idea that, they love the practice that they were involved in when they were in school, but there's so many different ways to practice. And even inside of my practice, what Dr. Philip does is different than what I do. So having that individuality and being able to see so many different things helps you as a student envision what you want for the future.
Now, I remember my mentor, Dr. Sandy, said, you got to visit at least 50 practices before you graduate to find out what you want and to find out what you don't
want.
Because there's going to be practices you're going to visit. You're going to go, that is not me. That's not the type of practitioner I want to be. And then there'll be others where you're going to gather all sorts of information to become absolutely fantastic. So thanks for taking the time to share your wisdom with us today. We'll make sure that people who are listening in have your website address and your email address should they want to contact you. And before we close out, I'll ask you for, if you have a closing comment, then I want to say something after that rather. So any closing comment from you, Dr. Sandy?
Just thank you so much for your time. It's been a joy to share a little bit of my story, and hope you have an awesome day.
Thank you. And I wanted to publicly thank you and your husband. Today is February 20th. It is Life U Day, February 20th, 2025. It is Life U Day. And this year, our team set a goal of $10,000. Doesn't sound like a much, but it was a $10,000 goal to beautify the campus. And I can tell you that when I came into the office 2 days ago, because my staff get a notice of people when they donate, there was a lot of joy because when money comes into the office, we have a xylophone at the front that people ring, bing, 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 bing. We just make music. And it was, did you know that Dr. Elbaum made a $5,000 contribution to Life U Day? And I was like, yeah, I did know, but it was exciting. So I want to thank you, Dr. Sandy and Dr. Adam, for all you do for Life University, all you do for chiropractic, all you do for your community. And certainly thank you for this wonderful gift that will help beautify the campus this spring when we buy new benches and new tables for the students to enjoy. You make a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.